we're
Oh, look
live.
at that.
Driving
We are
by,
live.
girl.
Welcome to Bedtime Stories.
Hi. We hope we're live. Well, we just lost Tony Touch.
But that's okay. I'm sure he'll be back.
Hope we can see us. It's been a hell of a time getting here to you people.
Oh, and Tony's back just like that.
I'm Red.
I'm Sid Rose. Hi.
And tonight we'll be broadcasting from Justin Rose's IG because there's been some technical glitches and I decided to run away from home and now it's not, but we're here.
And she expected me to have the technical savvy to be able to accomplish the shit that she normally does.
Hello.
That girl.
And so, but here we are. We made it. Ali is here with us. Tony Touch is here with us. You may have heard of one of them. They're a bit popular, these two.
Yes, and I'm so thankful for both of them to being here. And thank you all for joining us here. If you have questions for either Tony Touch or Ali Coleman, please just type them on in the chat here on IG. So one of the things that we like to start with.
So how's everybody doing?
Right.
I know I got to turn my phone. I will. Give me 1 minute. I've never done it like this before.
This feels so strange because Red is not in the technical control room. All right.
I wanted to see how we look from the outside.
Okay.
All right. So thank you all for being here. This is Bedtime Stories. Typically what we want to do is start off, we'll go a little back and forth between you, Tony, and you, Ali. But the first thing that we
Wait. First of all, Tony Touch and Ali Coleman, how are we doing? Are y'all here with us? Yeah, I didn't hear a peep.
We are good. I'm good.
I know how Cynthia is. Okay, good.
Wait,
I'm glad to see you guys made it.
Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Fine.
Yes.
All right.
We good. Thank you.
Before we got on, I told Tony Touch I wanted to come over and pick his hair. I like the swoop. So thanks, guys, for being with us.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I hope I'm in the middle of the screen, but you know.
You look good.
So if you people have questions, like Cynthia said, post them in the comments section on the IG, and we may or may not ask them if they're appropriate. And if we get cut off, guests, just keep talking like we didn't get cut off, because that becomes our bonus footage when we put it up on YouTube. So people, if we get cut off after that 1 hour that IG gives us, we're not coming back. Right. Go over to our YouTube channel and you know, see what happens next, as they say.
Right. Don't expect us to come back.
We're not.
We're already talking.
Frazzleless.
But we on Sin's IG, right?
Yes, we're on my IG live right now. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we're not on both mine and Red's. But you will find the entire thing posted on our YouTube channel in the archives after tonight. And it's because Red want to be starting something.
Oh.
There may or may not be a pool behind me. This may or may not be wine in a cup.
Cheers to that.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Ali Coleman. This is Bedtime Stories. Thank you, all of our guests. I see Carlos Mena's here. I see Jorge, Kim Lightfoot, Sony is here. Lots of folks that we know and love are here in the IG Live. I want to start, though. Let's get started. And
Get started.
The first question usually is just like, why do you think we invited you here today? Like, we know what this is about for us, but like, and we know very well who you are, but maybe give us a little bit of background of why you think you're qualified to give us some tales from the underground, and maybe give us a little tale from the underground.
And I'm going to just say, Ali, you showed up first, so you go first. Answer that question. Why do you think we asked you to be here with us tonight?
I don't know, cause y'all crazy. No, no. I've been going out since 1979. First club that I was able to go to was over in North New Jersey called Doc's. Our brother Hippie Torales and Hector Camacho were the DJs. And I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old. And from that point, I've been going out in New York, New Jersey. I've been a party organizer here in New York City since 1994. I've been a party promoter since 1994, because those two, as we all know, those are two different things. I've been a DJ since 1979. Yeah, and I was there. I was there. I remember seeing some stuff. So.
Well, shit, how old are you? 77?
Back then we started going out younger back in those days. We started going out when we were 13, 14, 12 years old, It was impossible not to. They didn't check for ID like they do now.
That's true. My first club was 13.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I was 13 years old, 1979, and I went to Doc's, Hippie Torales was playing, and Camacho was playing, and it like changed my life. And we had already knew about the Paradise Garage and the Loft and all these other parties. So yeah, it was just a given that this was going to be my life,
Yeah.
Okay. Tony Touch, why do you think we asked you to be here with us tonight?
Cause you crazy. I got a little late start. I started clubbing around 80, 85, 80, maybe 86, yeah. First New York club I went to was the Latin Quarters. DJ Red Alert in the mix. I was a hip hop head, B-boy, that was like my thing. I mean, I played house music and I loved it, but I was gravitated in the beginning, I think a little bit, probably more toward, I can't say more towards hip hop, but I was a B-boy at heart. So I guess, yeah, maybe, I gravitated towards the hip hop scene, fascinated by like the Roxy, and I didn't get to go there. I went to Latin Quarters and Heartthrobs, I'm like the mid 80s generation. Although I'm fascinated with, 70s.
Yeah. I don't
Tony,
know.
stop.
Tony's a little stuck in the Matrix. But
He's not that kind of stuck. People don't make up stories.
His internet stuck. And he looks like he's back.
And he's back.
It stops what you said?
It was just a little Matrix glitch, I think, that we got a little like frozen Tony.
But if I went live with you now, Cynthia.
Yes.
What would happen? Like if I went live and was like, yo, everybody like a quick promo, and then I get off.
We don't know.
I can't even actually click you on to add you on live because of the way that we're streaming this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know that I can do that. Which is, all of this is a hack, right? So this is all like us.
Yeah, this is cool that you're able to do this and be in IG changing windows.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm the hacker. So tonight I ran, and Sin is trying to hack, but she does other jobs better than me. Not one of them. I'm the hacker.
That's a very cool feature.
I can teach you.
You gonna show me something, Red?
So guys, let's see. I don't know, Sin, what do you want to say?
So I like this question too. This is one of my standard questions that I like to give, and it is like, what was the experience that made you say, like you said earlier, Ali, oh, you know, this is something that became a part of my life, right? What was that experience that made you do that? Like, what was it? I know what it was for me. Like, when I first went out, my first time, the songs that I heard that made me be like, okay, I'm turned out for life, right? What was it for you?
Um, I guess it was for me because back in those like the mid 70s, 80s, you can hear like they had like the Kiss FM Master Mix, so you can hear all the DJs on the radio. And Frankie Crocker was coming on at 6 o'clock, like playing all the songs. I guess it was just being exposed to this new type of like underground music that wasn't you didn't hear on the radio normally. You know, we started hearing like names like Larry Levan and Larry Patterson and T. Scott and Francois K. And I was like, who are these people and how are they making this music? Because we knew the songs that they were remixing and doing, but they sounded not totally different, but they did something to extend them. They were doing something that was new and different. And yeah, I remember like 1977 catching the bug, like listening to Push Push in the Bush. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. Like I wanna like go to these places and I want to experience that. And yeah, as a young man, I just started, you know, as a young teenager, not man yet, I just decided I'm going to go to the clubs in New York and see what this is about. And yeah, I was bit ever since, you know, but I did stop going out from like 1982 to 1991. So I missed a chunk, but I got the first chunk. And then when I came back out in the 90s, the first club that I went to was Shelter on Hubert Street. And I remember stepping on the dance floor. When I walked in, I was like, I'm going to love this dance floor. And I fell in love with it. And all of us know 6 Hubert Street, you know, that was a place for all of us to go. And yeah, I was just in from the point I came back out, I was all in. I went out every night of the week. Two Eyes, this place, that place, just every night of the week. It was just something to do, you know. So yeah, it was not hard to get in. It's not hard to you know, back in those days for this to bite you, you know.
Yeah.
We was all there. We know.
Sweet. So Tony, same question.
Mm.
What gave you the house music bug? Maybe just the music bug, because you do other things. You're not just house music. You pick, but
So fun.
doing the best of both worlds.
So you considered yourself like a b-boy first, and then was dancing.
I came in like I started breaking first, you know, 80, 83, 82, 83. I caught the b-boy bug, and then by 84, I started DJing. 85 really fully into it, and I was into like a lot of dance music, I could say, first before hip hop, because you know, hip hop was still not really quite there yet. My mom was a disco head, you know, she used to go clubbing, and she used to, you know, she used to like, you know, hustle and have house parties, a lot of disco in the house, you know. So I caught the dance music bug from my mom, listening to a lot of disco. She used to bring a lot of records into the house in the, you know, late 70s and early 80s. And so I caught the dance music bug first, you know. And then that eventually, like, freestyle became a big thing in like 85, 86. So I started like getting into a lot of that music, you know, all that Cover Girls, you know, or TKA, all that music, but like the early stuff.
Yes, yes.
Which was like electro. I think it started off with like the Shannons or maybe C-Bank. It was like a little before the freestyle, but that was like the first freestyle was like the 83, 84 stuff, and that was like electro funk, I guess what they called it back then.
Gentle freestyle.
Yeah, that was like pre-freestyle, but I caught that bug, and you know, I had my first industry gig. A lot of people don't know this, but I was road managing for Fever Records when I was like 18. because I had the DJ and technical stuff like pretty down packed already, like 3-4 years in on the DJ set. And a friend of mine named Tomax had a record on Fever Records that Carlos Berrios produced, and they wrote records for like Lisette Melendez. They wrote the Make Noise record. So this is like 86, 87, 88. And Sal Abatello, Fever Records, gave me my first industry gig road managing people. And I was like going on the road with like Niobe. I don't know if you know Niobe, and maybe Fascination and Lisette Melendez. And I was going up there, picking up their money, and I was walking around with little 1/4-inch reel-to-reels, and I would sometimes have to, play their music off reel-to-reel. Like, it was crazy back then. Like, we didn't have show tapes and everything was on a reel. So that was my first industry gig, and I was into the dance scene. I still am, but if we're gonna go back, before house, that was like the pre-house, and then of course 86, 87, all them Chicago Tracks records started coming in, like Marshall Jefferson and Adonis and all that, Mr. Fingers and all that stuff started coming into the city like 86. I caught that bug. And I was like a little rat. I was like a little, not a record store rat. I would hang out at Rock and Soul Records like all the time. And just, wait for their releases. Friday, just be there, post it up. And so that's where that was from. Just from dance music into the house scene of the Chicago records that were coming into the city. I was like on them real quick.
Nice. So I have a question from the IG chat. DJ Mike Marquez asks, how did Tony get into road managing? You kind of answered that a little bit. But.
Yeah, well, I started off with my boy Tomax from East New York. He had a record called Regrets Only. He was on Fever Records. He also wrote the lyrics for Lisette Melendez's music. And he actually sang his record as a to shop it around as they were looking for a singer. And then he ended up putting the record out himself, and he wanted him. And Sal Abatello from Fever Records, he saw my work ethic. I guess he saw something in me, and he started calling me, yo, I need you to go on the road with Niobe this weekend or whatever. And that's how that went down,
Well, I want to add that in when you like 84, 85, I caught that bug with you because I was like the only kid in my neighborhood blasting Hot 105. No, it was 103, right?
Yeah, Hot 103, right? It was, right? Yeah, that's right.
And I was blasting Cover Girls. I was blasting. It was like, Ali, what you listening to? I'm like, and I had a nice radio too. I was like, let me cut it up for you. Yeah, I was big on Noel and all that stuff for sure.
Hot 103, yeah.
Yeah, Hot 103, right?
Well, wow.
Crazy. You said Noel. That's crazy. He got into a really bad motorcycle accident this week, man. So prayers to Noel.
Yeah, let's send some pray for him for sure.
Yeah, I heard he's doing better, but he got into a really bad accident, really close call. I mean, you said Noel, and that was
let's send some love energy to him for sure. Because Noel, yeah, he got us laid lots of nights.
That's funny as hell. He was killer. He was a smooth cat, though. I told everybody the story. He used to come out and perform with the cigarette, and he would be he would be like the Fonz when he would come out. And the Silent Morning record would come out, and he would come out and he'd look around the room like he was like an actor, And he would flick the cigarette to the crowd.
I got a question. Tony, did you?
You have a question
for Tony? Because I kind of remember this. Did you play in Jersey at all, like Huckabunkers and those places?
What year? 90s, early 90s?
Like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
No.
Look, my joke right here is that Judge Judy would say that's a yes or a no question. Yes or no?
Yeah, right.
Wasn't me.
No, because I can't remember. I thought you played like, for some reason, the memory banks had you playing in Jersey down in like South.
I did a lot of venues and I burnt a lot of gas since then. That's why I got to be like,
yeah.
Come on, Red. I gotta be like, huh? What? Where? Woo, woo.
Right?
I
It's
Going to
true.
the archives.
have a question here from the chat. Shelbs Vans asks, "What was the first LP you ever copped?" They asked it to Tony, but I'm curious for both of you.
My first album was Love and Desire by you remember that song, Love and Desire? You are my love and desire.
Oh, that's so
Love
funny.
and desire. It was like it was actually pre freestyle too, that song, Love and Desire. That was the first song that I brought. It was the first like album when they first started making 12 inches.
Yeah.
I guess it was like 77.
Yeah.
That was the first one that I ever brought. Yeah.
Who was
Never.
the artist on that? You remember?
Oh my God, memory banks.
Yeah.
It's like
I
right
remember
there.
the record, but I
While
don't know
he's
the
going through this, people, I don't know if people know. Did you know that you can sing to Shazam to
No.
find the song? You can actually
No.
sing in your own voice to Shazam if you know the right lyrics, and it will tell you the song. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you who it is right now. I'm gonna put myself on mute.
But so, Tony, what's your answer to that question?
First LP, probably. Again, my mom used to bring records into the house, but the one I asked her to get me or get was probably Curtis Blow.
Oh my God.
The Breaks.
That's the first record I ever bought with my own money. The
That's
yellow
bad
fucking 12-inch single.
Yeah, I think I probably bought it with my own too. I had a paper route back then, so yeah, I could have.
Remember 8 Million Stories? So 8 Million Stories, my cousin brought that record over and I hid it. And I hid it and let them leave. My godbrother, I got in so much trouble because I was trying to keep the record. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. That was Arpeggio.
Arpeggio was the group.
It was the group,
Love
yeah.
and Desire.
Arpeggio. Okay.
Arpeggio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for Letheria. I don't know who it's for, but because I don't know this fact about either one of you. It says, from Brooklyn Iconic on my IG, says, saw you in the beginning of the movie Brown Sugar. Do you have any other cameos, and how did that come about? Who was in Brown Sugar?
Oh yeah, Brown Sugar movie.
Oh, Tony was in Brown Sugar. See, I didn't even know that.
I wasn't in it. They just had my press photo from my Tommy Boy record thing on the table there. She was like looking at pictures, and I was one of the pictures that she was looking at.
Ah.
Okay.
It wasn't really a cameo. She was like looking at pictures on the table, and mine was like right there.
Check for that?
I was cool. No, I mean I did not really. I did this movie with Big Pun. We did an independent film. God bless his soul. Boricua's Bond, name of the movie. I did it.
Could you repeat that title?
Boricua is Bond.
Well,
it was like
well,
an
go on.
independent release. Yeah, it was like I can't remember the main actor. He was a salsa singer, a friend of mine too. I'm so burnt out, yo. Yo, I'm gonna get the name of the
hardest working man on IG. I have to say,
the lead actor. The lead actor was like he's a salsero. It'll come to me in a minute. But anyways, it was his movie, and I did my little thing in there, whatever. But
nice.
Not a lot of stuff, you know. One or two little ping, ping, pong, pings.
That was like a moment of to tell the truth. One of you was gonna stand up for the answer. Well, I've got a quick question for Ali. So Ali, you named your event long ago, Voice of Voice. Why that name? What does it mean?
Well, I always I don't know. I always know in my heart that everybody's voices matter. Like whether they're like, you know, I don't know. During this time when I started that party in particular, it was like 2004, and I started it over at Cielo. Like I had the first party was at Cielo. It was actually on the same day that Joe opened Love, and I was having my Voice of Voice party, and I was trying to come up with a name for a new event, and I just wanted it to be that all the voices were included. Like this party was going to be a connection to all the voices, meaning all the parties that had came from it, you know, like that we were inspired by. The Garage, the Shelter, Sound Factory, like Tony was saying, Red Parrot, like all these places that we have went, they all had a voice to me. And the people that was coming to the party, they had a voice. Some of those voices were big voices, some were little voices. So that's why it looks like voice. The first voice is a capital V, and the second voice is a lowercase v, showing that all voices together matter. So that was the basic concept of why I called the voice a voice.
Okay. Sweet.
I have a question here from Be Polite for both of you. It is, what was the record that you played that surprised you with how the crowd reacted to it? Do you have a record that you played and like you played it in the club?
Yeah, I have one of those records. I have a record. It's called that record Bolero.
I know. I know Bolero.
So I was playing Bolero at Sapphire Lounge, right? And you know, on a Friday night, you know, and motherfuckers dancing, like, you know, having fun. And I was about to mix something. I don't know. I was gonna mix. It was a record that you would never think to mix with those two records, you know, together. And somebody came in the booth. You guys remember Spider?
The person?
Hand out the flyers. Yeah. Hand out the flyers, right? Spider. So he walked up in the booth. He was like, how you going? Before he could even ask, I was already mixing the two records in. He was like, and he saw everybody going crazy. And it was a surprise to me that everybody kept dancing when I was playing Bolero, you know. So Bolero is that record for me, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Tony?
Tony Touch.
Man,
I'm sure you've had a lot of records in your time that you played that have like, oh shit, I
Records.
didn't know that was gonna work like that.
yeah, it's true. Man, I'm blank, yo. I can't even think right now of a record like that. It'll come to me. It's just gonna take a second.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that. I'll revisit that answer. Be polite.
And actually, Be Polite might have been there,
Yeah.
because you know he be there, right? For sure.
I got to give that a little thought because I'm, again, game out.
So I also have a question from DJ Mike Marquez that what were both of your favorite freestyle song to listen to and or play? Like, what is your favorite freestyle song?
I'll go first. I say the Shannon stuff to me was like, it was such a good time.
Like that?
Let the music play. Give me tonight. You know, and they recently did a unsung episode for Shannon.
Oh wow!
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it was so cool, man, and I was like, this is so great. But for me, anything Shannon, like Give Me Tonight, Let the Music Play, are like top, because they stood the test of time. Those records you play today, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really play a lot of the freestyle records today because people will be like, I mean, it has a cult following and people still support freestyle. And I do a Thursday live session where I play all of it, but it's a cult following, you know?
Yeah.
But Let the Music Play is a record across the board. Still, you could play it anywhere. It still hits, you know? All races, ages, genres, whatever.
Yeah.
So Shannon,
Yes.
Let the Music Play, my favorite.
And fun freestyle.
Hold on, first.
What I believe is a freestyle fact, which I always joke, but I think is great. In almost all freestyle songs, they tell a story, and you never have to wonder what are the lyrics of a freestyle song because they pronunciate every word.
That's funny as hell.
Let me find out. Tony does a freestyle on Thursday night. I need to check on Twitch.
No, I do it on my Instagram. I do freestyle class. I call it club classics, but a lot of it's dedicated to like freestyle, you know.
Yeah, I need to find out about that for sure.
Well,
I think my favorite freestyle song is "Show Me" by the Cover Girls.
yes.
Yeah, show me you really love me. Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Telling that story.
But with freestyle, like Red said, it was always, you know, I think just freestyle was like one of the genres of dance music that I love the most. Like out of all genres of dance music, and I love all music, but freestyle was just, I don't know, it had that Latin flavor to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and
That Cover Girls record was so well produced. I never
yeah.
forget when I walked into Heartthrobs and Louis Vega was playing there, and they threw that record on, and that 808 was humming.
See? Oh my God. The drums, the bass, everything in that record was just like, just sweet. Yeah. But there's a record that to me precedes freestyle, that fits into freestyle, in my opinion. Romeo and Juliet. You know that song? Alec Contantino. What can you expect? She's a Capulet. Turn your eyes away. Speak no more of this young woman. She's your only foe. A Montague should know. Turn your eyes away. Romeo. Her heart is. Oh my God. Now, they didn't call it freestyle then, but to me, that's a freestyle record. And
I don't know that. I mean, I probably know if I gotta look for that.
Yeah, if you heard, I mean, you definitely heard it. You know why? Because Hot 103 used to kill this song.
It's Hot 103 again.
Hot 103. This is one of the. If you know the song, as soon as you hear it, they didn't play the whole version. They played a chopped up edit version, but it was like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I remember."
What was the name of the group?
Alec Candido. It was an orchestra. The Alec. I know his first name was Alec Candido something. It was some Italian cat, and it came out in like 1977. That record, little side note, that record helped me pass an English test, because we had to learn the sonnet for Romeo and Juliet. And as soon as the teacher said it, I sung the song, and the teacher was like, "Yeah, you don't have to take the test." She's like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "Because I know this is my favorite song, Romeo and Juliet." And it was the sonnet. It's like, yeah, it's one of those songs. It's like 17 minutes for the first.
How you spell the name of the group?
Alec, his first name is Alec, Alec. And his last name is Constantinos or something like that. Constantinos or something like that. But yeah, 1977, 76. So it was disco, but it was definitely freestyle. Sorry, I went on a ramble.
Oh, I love it. We let it happen. So, guys,
I'm looking for that RPG. I'm still looking for the Arpeggio record.
See, I love that, man. Pull out. I was playing with Justin Carter, right, a few years back, over at I don't know, one of the places, right? I'm playing with him. He was my guest for, like, I think it was like my 23rd anniversary of organizing events, right? And I love doing this to these cats, pulling out records that they don't know. Like I played Take a Chance and Give Your Love to Me. Go ahead. You'll find my love is free, right? And he was standing there looking at me. He was like, "Ali, what the hell is this?" I'm like, "Gotcha." So I like making them think like that. It's good.
That's funny you just said what you said. Well, did what you did, Ali, because what I was going to say right now is Ali Coleman, when you heard of the Bedtime Stories, you did express your interest, and we are friends. We are good friends.
Sure.
But you said, I have a lot of stories to tell. So, and I said, you've got, 5 minutes. And not 5 minutes, but let me rephrase. We've got 5 minutes right now. And what I'm going to ask right now is, because you said I just have stories to tell, I would like Tony Touch, and I hope he's paying attention. Tony, tell us a very short story. What's on your mind? Tell us something. Tell us something we don't know about Tony Touch.
Something you don't know about me, huh? Is this supposed to be like freak shit or like regular stuff?
Ah!
You can say whatever you want.
You guys are too much, man.
He knows me too well. He can say anything he wants.
Well,
Hey, give it.
nah, I got a bunch of stories, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. I can't. You know me. My brain is everywhere, all over the place. But let's think of a fun story that I had. That happened.
Or tell us just something we don't know about Tony Touch.
Something you don't know. Well, everybody knows I smoke bud, but nobody knows this story. One time I got pulled over with Be Real from Cypress Hill driving the Sutra.
That's a story.
He was supposed to DJ that night. We left the radio station, and he lit up this baseball bat as we made a turn on 14th Street to go down 2nd Avenue. He lights up this big thing is like this, burning on the way. By the time we hit 8th Street and 2nd Avenue, we got pulled over. And, you know, they asked if I had weed. They approached me. I was like, I don't. And he admitted to having some. And he was from LA, and he had a medical card, and he needed it for his medical stuff or whatever. You know, they made us get out the car because they, you know, they said we have any weapon. They wanted to check for weapons, so they had us out the car, and it was just me, Be Real. Sony was there too, and Bobo, which is the conga player in the group. So we're sitting in the back of the truck while they're going in and out of my truck. They're all over, you know, digging for whatever, looking for guns. And this other cop car pulls up, and they look at Be Real, and they're like, "Hey, so where's DJ Muggs?" Right? And he didn't make it on this trip, you know. So then they didn't find anything, you know. And then it's like, all right, you guys are good. You guys are good to go. You know, we pulled you over because we smelled you 4 blocks away. We smelled the weed. It was like a trail lingering. and that's why they pulled us over. They smelled it blocks away. It was crazy. And they let us walk. They let us leave. He lit it right back up again as soon as we took off. That was crazy, man.
He told me.
Right.
I
And
love
now-
it. I'm thinking, this is something you can't understand.
Here is something you can't understand. Yeah. So crazy.
And now with that, Ali, go. You're up. Tell
Again,
us a short story or something we don't know about Ali Coleman.
well, I mean, recently my life has been this open book. So that means I got to go back to the 90s because recently everything been, you know, not like I really like it. I like to be in a cut, you know. I like to be in a cut where, you know, you don't notice what's going on with me. So, I don't know. One of the 90s stories would be like how in the shelter, right? Once I got, you know, got able to go into the DJ booth and stuff and backstage and stuff with Timmy, right? Whatever. This is one of the stories, right? How the girls used to be out on the dance floor and you know, sometimes Timmy or somebody wanted to see a girl in the DJ booth and nobody had the heart to go get them except me. So, because I was a dancer, they always saw me on the dance floor. It wouldn't be weird for me to ask them to come to the DJ booth. So I was one of the guys that used to go get the girls and say, "Come on in the DJ booth. The DJ want to meet you," you know, and stuff like that. And like some of the stories, Sound Factory Bar, like, you know, like people talk about now their space and stuff. Not Sound Factory Bar, Sound Factory, right? People talk about their space. This is new. There's these new dancers now that need space and shit, right? And they need their area. I always tell them, you could not have partied with us, because the stuff that we saw in the club and the stuff we did in the club, y'all can't even imagine now. Like, we've seen sex on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And it's no problem. Like, Bird used to walk around with her shirt off.
Shirt off,
Nobody,
yeah.
right? Nobody. So we went to the same bathroom with each other. Like we didn't care which bathroom it was. We was just going to the bathroom. We wasn't like harassing each other, and we were just together.
And we
So,
unisex bathrooms.
yeah, it was.
People out, and we were like, just go to the bathroom, or
You got.
back in those days.
Yeah, we didn't use that word unisex. It was just the bathroom.
It was just
You just went to the bathroom. That's it. Yeah, I mean, the stories were just about fun. Like, and even today, still today, like I enjoy walking into House of Yes and seeing 500 people and playing for 3 hours and everybody sharing great love energy. I think this thing it hasn't changed that much. People always ask me about the changes that happen. I'm like, I was having fun then till now, and I'm having fun from now until then. Like, that's the whole point for me, to have fun and to share good energy with people. And like, what's different? Nothing's different. We're still we evolve with the time that's now so we can stay relevant, but the relevance of it is that we're having fun. Like when I watch Tony Touch play, I can tell he's having fun. Like I can feel that.
I want to ask you though, because like you say, like you used as an example House of Yes, right? Which I love House of Yes because of the way that they brought back a lot of the feeling that we used to have in clubs, and just the diversity of the crowd, the diversity of the music, and everybody being there just to be themselves.
And a lot of shenanigans.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Debauchery.
But I can also say that in House of Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a new time, there are people that are like that have been there that they don't know that, like, yo, you don't just walk through somebody dancing. Like turn your freaking phone off on the dance floor. Things like that, right? But as I was coming up, there were like parties, which is one of the reasons why I love the Funk Box, by the way, because the Funk Box is one of those parties that's very unique in our house scene that has people of all ages. We have young people, 21, and we have people that are 51.
And they're there to dance.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's a certain beauty that happens there that allows us to transfer some of the traditions that happen in clubs that, like, yo, you don't fucking bust up the circle, like, wake up, things like that, right? Don't throw water all over the damn place and, like, not clean it up because people are dancing there, kind of things, The
dance floor, meaning that the dance floor is the dance floor.
Right. So, but with that being said, do you feel like there are things that, like, you're saying that, yes, it's the same, but clearly there are some differences also, right? So what
there are clearly some differences. Our parties, we didn't have, like, nowadays. I love nowadays, right? And I'm playing there on Friday night, which just got changed to Saturday night. But, like, and House of Yes is the same way, where when you go into the club, you have to hear this whole speech about how to treat other people in the club. Right. And to me, coming from the era that I come from, you just had respect for people in the party. Like, and plus, you didn't dance with a girl and grab her and touch her unless she wanted you to touch her. Don't you want them to touch you? Like, my concept is, like, if you're dancing with someone, right, and that kind of dancing, don't you actually want them to want you to touch them? So now at these places, which I get, they're trying to school their audience. You have to, like, before you go in, there's this long speech about, how to, like, treat each other, and if someone does something, and to me,
the rules of engagement.
But for me, that's a discouragement for me to go to a party, because I'm going to have fun. That's blocking my fun right away. Like that's just blocking the fun. Like
a thing that I have, Ali, it's too many words. It's too many words. It's many words. We don't need this.
I mean, with Funkbox, you know, the one thing I haven't, I don't go out like I used to, but I've been to Funkbox and I know all the parties, you know. I actually was one of the first DJs. I know Tony don't remember this, but I was Voice of Voice was one of the first crews to when you guys first opened that Sullivan Room, we were invited, you know, to
I
play
remember
first.
that.
And that night it was hard to have a circle because it was packed.
So you mean you guys have met before?
Yeah, I remember. Ali, I remember you doing Funkbox with us back in a long time. That was
in the beginning, yeah. And that was I never forget that party. But I've been there and I know that Funkbox captures the essence of the dancers. You know, like people go there to dance, and that's what a party. That's the only reason I go out to dance. I'm not going out to. That's my socializing when I go out, dancing, not sitting around talking and spilling drinks. I want to go dance. So, yeah.
Wow, we got to get you back at the box when we open up, Ali.
I am definitely down and waiting for that for sure.
Man, I can't wait, bro. Who hooked that up with you at Sullivan Room? Was that Kaheem? Have a relationship with Kaheem or Ray?
With Ray. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
Yeah, that man for sure. Bless his soul for sure. All these souls, they still with us, man. Every day.
I gotta say before we get off. Happy birthday to his sister Yvette. Enigma's birthday.
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Cancer season is in.
Happy birthday, yes.
Word.
Sweet.
Man, and thank you so much. And for so just before they cut us off, I guess, you know, just quickly, Ali, I know you have lots going on. Tony, I know you have lots going on. Let's just do a quick what do you have? Where do you want people to
What do you have going on?
Go ahead, Ali. You go first.
Like I said, I'm doing nowadays. Everyone's starting to phase back in a little bit. So I'm going to be playing nowadays coming up. I've been doing a lot of virtual stuff, you know, like we all had to learn this new skill set. So I've been doing my mixtape Wednesdays where I just go through a bunch of new music that I got and sample it, like going back in the record stores and playing it for everybody, and we be giving thumbs up. And then on Friday, I do Flashback Fridays. And yeah, I got a date in August 31st at Fort Greene Park that they told me not to cancel yet. Yeah, I know. Look at me getting dates in Fort Greene Park, right? For August 31st, and I called them and they said, let's not cancel yet. So I got that hopefully coming up, and just, you know, staying busy. That's all.
Oh, and you, Tony?
Yes, same. Just staying busy. You know, this virtual thing really went to a whole nother place, changed the game, and I think it's going to be part of moving forward. Even if we're back in the clubs, this virtual thing is going to be a thing for, you know, to stay, you know. So I've been able to program like my house as if it was like a semi radio station / TV station, and I do different you know, like I do like a Tuesday. Tonight I'm going on at midnight for Toka Tuesdays. At midnight I get on the set on my Instagram and on Zoom. And I got the Thursday session, After Work Thursdays, I call it.
Classic.
Which is the club classics where I play the freestyles and all that, a lot of disco. And
Thinking me. Go on.
I'll be there.
yo, that's so funny. And then Saturday I do I love classic salsa music, so I play classic salsa Saturday afternoons.
Which I love that
really
show
well.
because
I love it
too. Reminds me of like Saturday afternoons cleaning in my house with my family and the salsa. That's like such. I love the Saturdays.
That's been going so good, man. And then of course I do the Funk Box on Sunday nights. You know, we've been doing that up virtually as well. So apart from the virtual DJing, I do have an album coming out. Couple actually. I got a Funk Box album coming out. It features artists like Pevin Everett is on the album, and did the Sakude record on there, and you know, I've been talking to Louis Vega about putting it on Vega Records for a while, and you know, a few roadblocks, but that's gonna, God willing, manifest and happen real soon. Recording's been done for a minute. And then a hip hop album as well, which is the hip hop album I'm doing is a soundtrack to a mixtape documentary coming out at the end of the year, where we do like an extensive look at the mixtape culture.
Wow,
From
nice.
like Brucey B in Hollywood, Starsky, all the way up to like, you know, Khaled or whatever. So, you know, we got everybody, DJ Clue and Ron G and S&S, Kid Capri, Doo-Wop. You know, we got like this whole ensemble of people and record execs and a few celebs talking about it. Mixtape documentary that Universal actually picked up. So I'm really excited about that, and a soundtrack to go along with it. So working, man, just trying to stay young. I'm a grandfather now, a young grandpa.
Congratulations.
Damn, loving that, you know. I have my moments where I lose it, but hey, it is what it is, you know.
So I have one, possibly the final question, which is you both spoke on it just a bit, but I was thinking about it because both of you, I know you both and I follow you both, and I feel like I'm a part of both of what both of you do in general. And this whole thing has been a change for all of us, this whole pandemic thing that's happening out there. And you both, I'm not gonna say embraced it, but you did what you had to do and you figured out how to, like, you know, Tony, you do a funk box on Sunday and you were like, we're gonna do funk box on Sunday. And then you added on other things that were brand new. And Ali, you did some different things and you did something similar. And you're like, okay, this is like what I would do normally. And then I added on. So like, and so you both said, well, Tony, you said that it will continue. But what was that like? Like, I mean, for me, I know this is not about me, but it's so weird and strange and, you know, doing virtual things. What's it like?
I mean, I think it was like, I needed to do it because of the momentum we had with Funkbox and Toka Tuesdays. And it's like, you know, we was just so used to gathering together every week. And then all of a sudden, you know, that wasn't going to happen. I felt like I had to find a way to connect with everybody and, you know, the family, like people like you and all the people that support us. And we see each other, even if it's once or twice a month. But, you know, we had a family thing going for so long. I just wanted to keep that going. And plus, I wanted to, like, stay on schedule in case when it does open up, I wasn't, like, in lazy mode. Oh, I got to get back in the club scene again. To me, this kept me, like, it kept me on the treadmill, like, kind of, you know, like, it just kept me working out. Like, I still, like, right before a stream, I take a nice shower, I get hooked up and shit, be shaving and shit, you know, like, it keeps me, like, fresh in a sense. So that was what that was about. But it was more so just to connect with everybody, stay connected with the people.
I can basically give the same exact answer because, you know, I had my family dance parties going over at the Cow Market and a couple other things. And it was like this momentum, you know, I was about to play like House of Yes, Nowadays, fucking Public Records, right? I was doing all this stuff, you know, and it was like hustlers hustle, like hustlers hustle.
I like that.
Real human beings. The key ingredient to being a real human being to me is adaptation, you know, being able to adapt to the situation. I was not going to be sitting around waiting to see what was going to happen or complaining about what was happening. I said, let me keep doing what I'm doing and learn all this virtual stuff. And, you know, we did Dance Parade. We did Dance Parade online, right?
I thought it was amazing. I thought that just, you know, the fact, I was like, how? Because Red was mentioning to me, like, yeah, I've been working with Ali. We're doing the Dance Parade still. He's putting me to work and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, how the hell is that going to happen? And I was just so impressed.
Well, it was definitely not easy to do. And we learned a lot of stuff. But we did it, you know, because we were able to adapt and just say, hey, listen, we're going to keep moving. You know, this is New York, too. How you going to sit on your laurels in New York? You got to keep hustling. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get left behind. So,
And eventually I was able to like, it wasn't my intention in the beginning, but eventually turned it into almost like a little infomercials, you know, little plugs and it. You're like, yo, I got these cool glasses for sale right here. Yo, send me a DM.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
but I've been able to sell like the merchandise, like flash drives or hats, funk box hats, T-shirts. You know, every little bit to help also, you know, keep
Yep.
some money.
That's the
coming in.
part. That's the part too that actually wasn't surprising because we know people come out to our events, they support us. So it was just how was it going to translate to them not actually seeing us and being with us? And yeah, you put it up there, they're gonna support you. Like he said, I got these glasses.
Yeah,
Was like, I want a pair of those. How much? you
yeah, that's
know?
what I'm
So
saying.
And on
yeah.
a non-shameless plug, both Red and I accept tips, and our information is on our IGs. And
There
don't
you
have
go.
to tip, but
All right.
if you want to, we would be really appreciative.
I don't see it pinned. You got to pin it. How come you didn't pin it?
Because the way
We
that
can't pin things because we're
Oh, yeah.
hacking.
yeah,
You gotta show me. You gotta show me this method. This is so cool, man.
I got you. Call me tomorrow.
I'm gonna call you.
In the non-shameless plug, you can Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal me, and it's all the same. It's simple. It's red@theredness.com.
Red at the
mine
redness.
is pretty much the same too, but you can find it right on my Instagram.
You know what?
It's all Sin Rose NYC. Easy.
I love it.
Y'all just come to Redness. It's
Oh,
all be on my
I
IG.
figured that one. So you see what Sean
But you
wrote
don't
about.
have to. But you don't have to. We don't like. We're not. You know.
But you should.
You can.
But you should. And you guys, just to share a little of what's happening in real time right now. One of the hotel people just came over and was like, so you know, like we have quiet hours.
I was trying to point that out to you. I saw them looking in the background. I'm like, you got an audience there. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Where
Well,
you at,
know,
Red?
you in Jersey, girl.
Girl.
That's why I tell people I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I escaped in 1992. And I always use the word escaped.
You're
because
taking
I
me.
did. And I grew up in a pretty cool neighborhood. I grew up with Kevin Hedge. I grew up with Jihad Muhammad, Naeem Johnson. Michael Walford lived in that neighborhood. Larry Levan used to come to our park, Weekway Park. Y'all know that Weekway Park that everybody be talking about? Larry Levan used to come and chill in the tennis court with his best friends, Wes Ward and Charlie Ward and all those cats. And Colonel Abram lived in that neighborhood. Kenny Bobian lived on Bergen Street. And so I grew up in a really cool neighborhood, but New York always pulled me. Like New York always pulled me. I was never really. I had fun in Jersey. I ain't gonna say I didn't have fun, but I knew one day that I was gonna be living in New York. Like no doubt about it. Because.
And on that note,
I think it just shut you down.
It did, and
that's
okay.
all right.
What do you do? You program it for an hour?
Now we're at the bonus conversation, and the last question, possibly again, is: so Tony Touch, do you have any lovely parting words for us?
Parting words. I just can't wait to get tight hugs to all my people, man. I just really miss.
Oh,
I miss bodies, man.
Yeah, we really.
I look forward to seeing to exchanging that energy with everybody, and I pray that that this thing boils over and it gets figured out, But in the meantime, everybody stay strong, focused, stay in prayer, and stay indoors, and stay wearing masks.
Don't be a dummy.
Yeah, like some
Any lovely parting words?
I mean, again, most of the night, when I followed Tony, I was like ditto. Like I literally cannot like they're having this block party around the corner from me, right? And they were doing it every night. Now they're doing it 3 nights, and then they called me. They was like, oh, and usually I'm really nice about stuff. They had called me to ask them to help them with stuff. I was like, listen, man, as long as that's going on, my business ain't gonna start. Like I am so ready to be back with the love tribe, sharing that energy, playing music, dancing, and That's some ancient vibration that we all connected throughout to our deepest past ancestor. They did the same thing, you know. They didn't have DJ equipment, but they had a tree or something that made sound, you know, a spoon, a fucking those washboards back in the day.
They had a beat.
They had a beat, and I think that's we're all connected to that. So I'm so ready to get back to that. Like, oh my god. But again, for now, let's stay, you know, safe and, you know, follow the rules to
Watch
keep
out for
ourselves safe.
dummies.
Yeah, and just
Right.
put your mask on when you go out and, you know, get some
Yeah.
vitamin D in your skin, even if you got to sit on the stoop porch, you know,
That's right.
some sunshine. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Well, this has been sunshine for me.
I was gonna say, yep. On that note, my darling sisters, Sin Rose, you got any lovely parting words for us?
You know, I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate everyone that's right here looking at me, and I'm looking at y'all. And, you know, I know that for like what you both do, like, you know, the internet thing is a little difficult because I know just from playing my position, right, that the DJ feeds off of the crowd as much as they're playing music, and they can play music for themselves or like, you know, be in a moment themselves, but they really do feed off of the energy of the crowd, which is why I think like for, you know, some of these platforms, it's kind of important, like the Zoom, to be able to see people that are like, yeah, I'm not in my head, I'm feeling that, or you know that, or
Yep.
even in Instagram, the chat of like, hey, oh yeah, that, well, I see fire, you know, all of that is a part of you, what you get to feed off of it. And I just want to say that, like, thank you to both of you, you know, and you too, Red, for like, you know, just continuing on and continuing on, even though that, you know, the way you were getting that energy or the way you were putting out that energy wasn't the same, you know. So I just want to say thank you. That's it.
Yeah, I go with what Cynthia said, and I'm gonna go back to you two because specifically in my mind, you two have really transformed in this situation. Well, not everybody has, but you two have. And you know, for me, on a weekly, there might be 2 or 3 people that I'm like, I'm gonna purposely go listen to. I'm gonna purposely go, because before the pandemic, I didn't listen to a lot of house music at home. I was overwhelmed. Like, I've had enough at the club, and now that I don't have the club, I listen to more music at home than I ever have ever. And you two are like on my list. Like, okay, it's funk. Like, I'm going to Funk Box. I'm taking a shower. I'm going in the living room. I'm putting on the outfit. Like, it's a thing. And the same thing with you, Ali. So, and me and Ali have learned so much in this together, which has been amazing.
Yes.
And
yes.
like, yeah, we could produce some kind of something out of this.
Yeah, we can.
Based on what we've learned. But yeah,
Ali, you got me. I'm Googling records over here. I'm like,
I love it, man.
how you spell that? I already got
love
her in the matrix already. I'm already like this.
Oh, I love that, man. I love
Sister
that.
Cynthia
That's
is
the
sitting
sharing.
with me on a late night on a Zoom call and just chilling and doing what we do, having a drink, having a smoke, whatever. But that's how this all came about. And so I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all of this. I don't appreciate any of that, but all of this is so glad for it. I'm so glad for it.
God bless y'all, man.
Yes, indeed.
Thank
This is
you.
what we're doing now. So,
Stay safe.
God
Love
bless.
Tribe. Love Tribe
so
members.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ed.
Good night, I'm Sid.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah, that was good times. That was fun.
That was fun, man. It's gonna be on YouTube, you said, right? You guys have the
I'll be
YouTube.
sure once we put it up there, I'll send you the link so that you have
Cool.
it.
We'll tag you and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Love
thanks,
it.
guys,
Love
for
it.
participating
All
and being
right.
here.
So I'm gonna be reaching out, Tony, when we get back to it.
I can't wait, man. We'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Yep. All right, man. Keep spreading
All right.
love, brother.
Thanks,
There you go. God
guys.
bless.
Tuesdays.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Good night.
Red, we'll probably be talking tomorrow.
I love you all, so good night. Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
How do we do this? Good night.
And we're back.
And here we are.